All right. I'm gonna give everybody like 30 seconds until until the message goes out. Because usually when you start up a stream or whatever, it takes like 30 or 40 seconds for YouTube to send out a notification, to your subscribers and all that, right? So we'll give everybody a minute or so to get a notification, and then we'll get into the stream for tonight. Hey, already got somebody. Hey, how you doing, Green Soul? Um, I've seen that dude here a few times. Um, so tonight it's probably going to be only an hour stream, right? Because that's the amount of time I have. I'll do a little open, well, not an open panel, but a Q&A, right? If anybody has questions, they're welcome to ask in the chat, and I'll address those. Uh, but it was funny because I was hoping that I had like 70% of my what's it called, of the phone charge, right? But of course, it's only at like maybe 54% out of 100, right? And I thought about that meme that I've seen on YouTube before, and it was about how whenever I'm at home, my phone's always at 100% or high 90s. But then, of course, when I'm out somewhere, it's always down past 50%, if not lower than that, right? And I know I can't be the only one who notices that. It just often happens, right? I'll be at home, and when I have access to all the chargers and all that, the phone's already completely charged. But then, of course, when I go out, when I need the battery the most, then more often than not, it tends to be nearly dead, right? It's funny how things work out like that sometimes. Um, Let me see. Okay. Ooh, that's ironic. Well, I'll address that in a second. Um, hey, how's you doing, Alfred? Okay, so here's something funny that happened earlier today. I saw that Perry Green was doing a live stream. So I clicked on it, saw what he was doing, and the dude was playing, like online chess, right? He is inviting people, on to play with him, right, on chess.com. So as the nemesis I am, I went and I made my own account on chess.com. Took like 15 minutes to figure that out. And I sent him a challenge, right, to play chess, right, when he was doing a live stream, because I thought that'd be funny, because he can see my name on it, right, ETT. And that was pretty funny, right? It was pretty funny. Like you could tell that he didn't expect, ETT to challenge him on chess. But though I will be fair, though, I mean, he beat me fair and square in the chess rounds. We played like 2 rounds. I believe each round's like what, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. But he beat me, right? I admit that. As far as the theological debate goes, I mean, I cut his ass, 6 ways a Sunday, multiple times. Dude's a damn embarrassment at this point. But as far as chess, I will admit, he beat me as far as chess goes. But then again, to be fair, I'm not a regular chess player, right? I don't play chess too often, so I guess I could say that in my defense. But I just thought that was pretty funny because, he was openly challenging people, stop by and, and play if they wanted to. So I figured, why the hell not? I don't have anything else going on right this minute. So I'll, go ahead and, send him a challenge on chess.com. And, I just thought that was pretty funny. That happened like maybe 12 in the afternoon today, something like that. Yeah, so that was just pretty funny. uh, let's see. Alfred said he gets mad at me when I comment on his channel to stop smoking in front of his kids. That's evil. Yeah, yeah, I can believe you. Right, I can believe what you're saying. Peregrine is one hell of a character. That's for damn sure, man. It's for damn sure. Dude's on there, smoking weed for Jesus. As weird as that sounds, right? Let's think about this. Think about this. We'll have you believe that, say, for instance, if I go around and tell people to live by what Christ said, he'll say that, that's evil and we're leading people away from God, apparently. But on the other hand, him telling people that, as long as they believe they can go around, smoke all types of drugs if they want, cheat on their wives, steal and all of that, right? It's not wrong if you do it because you just got to believe and that's it. Again, it's just really strange to me, right? So apparently, by teaching, the laws and commandments, you're like now a bad person. But on the other hand, by teaching, willful sin, which is ironic because he claims that he doesn't sin, which he clearly does because, whether you call your actions sins or not, if God says that thing that you do is a sin, then it's a sin, regardless if you consider it to be or not. Like, I mean, these guys are just like playing semantics at this point, right? Trying to say, well, if you don't think worshiping idols and, false gods, if you don't think it's a sin, then that means it's not a sin for you. So again, literally by that doctrine, you can literally go around and worship like golden statues of like pagan gods, according to them. And that's totally fine. But think about how weird that is, man. It's truly, it's truly remarkable to me, that here it is. We're in a day and age where these are like the respected people that teach the Bible, well, supposedly teach the Bible. And again, there's so many other honorable mentions, that hold to the free grace belief, such as Praise I Am. What's this other dude? He's actually alive right now. The layman's seminary. I call him the layman's cemetery, right? Just like Tahar makes fun of the seminary school, right? Calls them a theological cemetery school. Yeah, that's what layman's is, right? He's running the layman's cemetery. That's what he's running. Perry stopped by in the chat. Yo, Perry, man, how are those wooden tables going? Because I see you're out there giving them away for free to the local police station in your area, right? Right. So again, he can't work, but he can put the labor in to make these tables and give them away for free. I mean, that's just that don't make sense. But hey, you do you, man. Yo, Perry, what is the next product that you have coming to your Sinless Perfection .com store or whatever the hell you call it? Right, like what is what's the next product you have in line that you're going to be, trying to sell people in the near future? So something else I wanted to mention, the reason I said it was ironic earlier, is as I just went live, I got a notification that, what's this dude's name? Let me just check real quick. James. Yeah, this guy named James. I think it's James Limberman or something like that. But we'll just call him James to keep it simple. So James, he's been so far up on my nuts about this concave earth stuff. I'll call him Bond, right? Gold Bond. Inside joke. But seriously, this guy, has been nagging me, almost every day now for the past 2 weeks, we'll say, about this whole concave Earth thing, right? Telling me, oh man, you should look into it. You should look into it, man. It's really fascinating, information and and all that, right? So he sent me a couple of videos, and I did watch them, as I told him I would. Well, at least first one, because I don't have all day to waste on concave, or you know what I'm saying. But I did check out one of the videos he wanted me to watch. Really, this guy on there was just talking a lot of nonsense, making like hypotheticals, trying to draw correlations between things where there's not a correlation. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing I was talking about is saying, oh, well, we live like on the interior, right? And then the universe like goes out to like an outer interior. It's like, but wait, it's like, don't you guys believe that the universe doesn't exist? Like, isn't that part of the theory that you guys hold to, that the universe is like made up? So how the hell could you be, incorporating the universe into this concave Earth theory you guys have, if you guys hold the belief that the universe is like made up by NASA to trick people? So either this guy is just adding stuff on, or not clear. I'm not sure. But I just found that was funny, right? The guy's like, nagging me to look into it. It's like, hey, look, man, I've been a flat earther for like 7 years. But again, I've looked into the concave Earth stuff because hell, we've talked to Samuel Owens before, right? Concave Earth Christians. That dude, the guy that goes around and says that he's Jesus and all that. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. And again, I'm familiar with the idea, but it's clearly not correct, right? There's clearly some flaws with that whole concave Earth nonsense. The flat Earth has much more reasonable evidence to to support it. Preacher said maybe a chessboard. Hey, Perry, man, you got caught off guard when you saw ETT pop up earlier, man. We were like, oh shit, it's this guy again. Man, I was playing Call of Duty at the time, but when I saw you go live, I was like, oh shit, this is a perfect opportunity to, go hop on and play a round or two with him, even though I really don't play chess. Let's see. Jill, nah, not today, man. It's like 90 degrees out here. I'm outside. And you weren't here, but I said earlier before you hopped on that my phone's at like, well, now it's like 40 some percent. My phone battery dies quick. So this is only a short stream tonight. Let me see. Let me grab a drink real quick. Yeah, you're right, Green Soul. But yeah, as I said, the out of all the years now that the globes been talked about versus the flat Earth and the concave, really the one that has the most evidence towards it is clearly the flat Earth model. And when you go by the Bible, it also clearly supports that as well, right? It talks about the Earth as a circle, and then it talks about a firmament being over the Earth. So a good way to put it to visualize would be basically like if you take like a dinner plate and then take like a large glass bowl, flip it upside down on the dinner plate, and that essentially is like the flat Earth model, right? And that we all live on the interior of that of like the inside, right, on top of the plate. That's what makes up the Earth. And people ask, well, what's under the Earth then? Well, we can answer that question, but it's worth pointing out that even from the heliocentric model, people don't even know that themselves, right? To say that, in the core of the earth, there's like magma and all that. But the fact is, nobody's ever been there, right? Humans only dug 8 miles into the earth, right? The deepest hole in the world is the Kola super deep borehole that was dug by the Soviet Union. And it only goes down 8 miles. It's too hot for the machinery to work at those levels. So they had to cancel the project, that level into the earth. So that's the history with that, right? The deepest hole in the world's only 8 miles. So it's like, wait, if it's only 8 miles, then how the hell do everybody supposedly know what's in the center then? Like, how the hell the globe believers know what's in the center of the earth if mankind has went no deeper than 8 miles, right? So again, I get why people might ask like what's on the underside of it. But the truth is, if we're going to be honest, nobody knows because nobody's ever been down there, right? On whatever model, where you believe in a concave Earth, a flat Earth, a globe Earth, a triangle Earth, nobody's ever been there, so nobody knows. There's fairy tales that people have about it, such as the heliocentric belief being a fairy tale that there's like magma in the core of the Earth. That's nobody knows that. Some people believe hell's like down there, or like the underworld, right? Or a damn hollow earth, right? With a whole nother world down there. Believe me, there's people who believe that. Alfred, um, Alfred, maybe a salad or something like that. Or you can make tacos. Maybe that'll answer your question. As far as chicken though, like say for instance, right? Like for my preps, I probably have maybe 100 cans of white chicken. Oh, and it's ironic you bring up chicken, Alfred, because I was at Walmart earlier tonight and I was looking at like the canned chicken, and literally now, due to the hyperinflation, now there's 2 cans put together in a pack, and it's literally $5 for 2 small cans of chicken. I remember I went to the same Walmart, we'll say like 3.5 years ago, nearly 4 years ago. We'll just say 3.5 years ago. And I got like was it a 4 pack of chicken, and it was under $7 for a 4 pack, right? Under $7 for a 4 pack of canned chicken. But then I went tonight, right? I went tonight, and for the same size can, you get 2 in a pack, and they want $5 for it. So as far as I know, the 4 pack last time I seen those, which was like maybe 2 months ago, they were like 9.50 for a damn 4 pack. Right? They'll give you a few cents off, so you don't pay exactly $10. Think about that. Nearly $10 for 4 cans of chicken. That's pretty bad. If you think about that. But yeah, but Alfred, as far as your question about the chicken, maybe you'd be able to make some chicken tacos with that, or salad or stuff like that. But I'm not a big cooker, so I'm not a. I can only give you limited ideas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not refer you're I don't know what you're referring to, Jay. Hey, how you doing, Luke? Long time no see. Alfred said they closed all the 99-cent stores in Cali. I think they named a name of a city, but I'm not sure what the abbreviation is. Yeah, that's interesting. I've noticed in my area, there's a lot of, stores closing. And it's sad. Like, I'll give you one example. Speaking of the 99-cent store, there was a store that I used to go to. It was called Dollar Zone, so similar to what you're talking about. Right, but I used to go there and actually get pretty good deals at that store. But they ended up closing down. I think what happened, though I don't know for sure because I don't know the people that own it. But when you see the owner in the shop, they were Mexican, right? So I think maybe something happened where they had to go back to Mexico, maybe got deported. So of course they'd have to, close the business. But again, it's just speculation. I'm not I don't know. But they closed that store down recently, pissed me off because I always like going there. They can get reasonable stuff for a cheap price. But you see all these places going out of business, these box stores, gyms, just again, the number could go on and on, about the amount of closings, that's going on. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Jay. I don't spend time trying to research, the theories like that. So I can't speak on it because I'm not familiar. Luke said he has an accident last week. Well, I hope you're doing better, man. I know you've been having a lot of, car problems. You've been telling me over the past, couple months or whatever. So I hope you're doing all right, man. Let's see. Damn, it's hot out here. It's almost 11 o'clock at night, and it's damn 90 degrees outside still. It's like shit. It shouldn't be this, it shouldn't be this hot out at this time of the night. Send me a message on Discord. I'll check it out later, man. I don't have Discord on my phone here because it gave me an issue trying to log into the app. So I only have it on like my second phone. Somebody will say, "Well, why do you have two phones?" Well, it's not that I want to, but I can't transfer everything from the one phone over to the new one. You know what I'm saying? So I keep some stuff on that because I have to due to the situation, at least at the moment. Which I actually had free phones, but fortunately I was able to sell one of those recently, so I don't have to worry about having, three of them. Bear with me for a second. All right. Let me see real quick. Yeah, so I'm just out here, I'm just taking a late night walk. I thought it'd be cooler out here. I didn't expect for it to be, 90 degrees still. But, I guess it could be worse. Someone LP said being mean to him. No, what happened was, Like, say for instance, for what I saw in the Discord, as he was talking with Rudy and what's the other brother's name? The guy with the IDL, the David um picture. Oh, Galapagos, right, brother Galapagos. They were talking with LOP about flat Earth stuff, and LOP was like, oh, that flat Earth stuff is nonsense and not true. And I asked him, it's like, wait a second, bro. You've been coming on Minus Shreg's stream and my stream for 3 years, right? For 3 years, inside joke, right? But you've been coming around for 3 years and you still haven't let go of the globe. Yeah, I've been thinking the whole time that he was a flat earther. It's news to me that he is a baller. News to me. I didn't know that. I thought he was on board with the flat earth. But apparently said that it's not true. And again, you can believe what you want. You can believe in a square earth if you want. It's not going to take your salvation away. But it is an important topic to look into because, say for instance, there's many people that went from being an atheist, but then after they found out the flat earth, they got led to God because they figured out that clearly, if the world is flat and motionless, there would be a creator involved. So that's just one example. So again, that's what happened. Nobody was being mean to him. It's just we got caught off guard. I was like, wait a second, what? You're still holding on to the ball after you've been on live streams for 3 years now with hardcore flat earthers, and you say there's like no evidence of a flat world. I mean, either he was trolling for fun, or he hasn't been paying attention. Other than that, I don't know. But again, to clarify, regardless of what, um, regardless of what somebody thinks about the world shape, it's not going to take their salvation away, right? But it is important to talk about because, well, it's the truth, right? It's the truth. So of course, there's no lie that's of the truth, right? No lie is of the truth. So you find out something is a lie, it has every right to be, talked about and debunked. It's a concave earther. Hey, well, again, that's news to me. I didn't know that. And he didn't even say that either. He said that from what I could tell, it sounded like he believed in the globe. And you can ask Rudy or Galapagos. That's clearly what it looked like. He was on there saying. How you doing? How you doing, Manny? Good to see you around. Manny said 3 years. He's bugged out. LOL. Yeah. Again, I don't get how somebody could, hop on panels for years and years with hardcore, flat Earth people, and still be convinced that they live on, a spinning globe. That doesn't make sense. That's just that's just funny to me. Hell, I joked with him and I told him, hey man, if Mina Shareg was still, doing streams, he would call you an actor and a Satanist. If you were to tell him that you still believe in a ball earth after, being on there for, 3 years. You know what I'm saying? He call you a damn actor and a Satanist, a damn professional actor. Rudy said, hey, how you doing, Rudy? Glad to see you here. Rudy said, even when I was a globe earther, I thought a globe earth meant a creator. And then laughing emoji. It's still too balanced, but flat is dead obvious. Right, right. It's obvious now to those of us who, started at, what's this guy? Just like Mark Sargent would say, right? He'd be like, for those who started to see the world with new eyes, right? For those of us who started to see the world with new eyes, it's obvious to us that, the people in charge have lied to the population, right? They've clearly lied to us. And again, like, this is not hard. Like it's so simple now for us to see the clear fraud and fakery, going on, with NASA and with the globe math, right? Again, none of it adds up. Hell, all you got to do, if you want to make it simple for a new person that's just hearing about this, all you got to do is like watch maybe an hour of a David Weiss video. Now, even though David goes off on certain things he says, I think he does a good job at like explaining the flat Earth model, at least on most subjects. So if you just watch an hour of his content, it should break it down relatively simple for you. Matter of fact, he's even offering a prize. He's offering free Bitcoins. Again, this is David Weiss here. He's offering free Bitcoins for one proof of the globe. But you have to go on his website and you got to make sure you don't ask a question that they already answered. Otherwise, you don't qualify for the prize. And he said he's still yet to find somebody, to prove him wrong. Alfred said, yeah, I see the moon and the sun right now, right next to each other. Yeah, that's a great point. I make that point out sometimes too. Like, hell, I've been out countless times in the daytime, whether it be the early morning, afternoon, right? 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you look in the sky, you can see both the sun and the moon. It's like, wait a second, shouldn't the moon be on the opposite side of the world? Because it's nighttime over there, right? So why the hell are they both on this side of the earth? Shouldn't the one be on the opposite side of the world for the people in nighttime? That doesn't make sense. Man, he said the spirit of Shrek is still alive. The mind of Shrek returns? Question mark. Yeah, Shrek's still out there somewhere. He's still out there somewhere. He made a fool of himself, and he literally went out and sold all his life possessions. He threw away his degrees, his bachelor's and all that. Literally threw it in the trash. Not even metaphorically, he literally threw the diplomas away on video, right? Quit his job, lost his apartment and was homeless living in Airbnbs. It's like, shit, man. Hey, we all warned you, man, that you shouldn't take this that seriously as far as, literally losing all of that just because you think Jesus is going to return like next week. It's like, come on, And again, like, I understand why people would want Christ to return, of course. That's in the Bible. That's in what is that? Second Peter, the 3rd chapter, start at 10 on down, right? Talks about looking forward to and hastening for the coming of the day of the Lord. But there's a balance with this. It doesn't mean you have to throw away everything. Hell, this reminds me of that. I believe this happened in like the early 1900s. It might have been like the 1930s. It was an event called the Miracle of the Sun. You can look it up on YouTube or Wikipedia. It was the Miracle of the Sun. And there was like some type of event that was going to happen, and people believed that Jesus was going to return on this day, and there was going to be a great, show in the sky to signify Christ's return, right? So all these people went out, they sold all their possessions, they sold their homes, gave everything away or whatnot, because they could be rapture ready on the day that the miracle was going to happen. And the day came and goes, right? It came and went, and all these people went home disappointed, right? A lot of those people, their lives got ruined because they bought into fairy tales. The Bible says that no man knows that day or that hour. So don't believe, people going around saying they know that on this day or that date that's going to happen. It's not true. Don't believe them. So again, that's a good example. He was like those people. They got too caught up, and then they for simple terms, they ended up stumbling over their own feet, for a lack of better words. Right? They ended up, finding out the hard way they got it wrong. And that's what happened to Shrek, unfortunately. But he's still out there. He's probably in an Airbnb or something like that. He hasn't. What is it? He hasn't been on YouTube for like 2.5 years, right? Something along those lines. Has Steven been dead for like 2.5 years? I know it's at least 2 years that Steven's been gone. Steven was a good guy. I actually had his own personal phone number. Me and him talked a few times, outside of live stream, right behind closed doors. We've had a few conversations. He was a cool guy, right? He was a cool guy, but it was definitely sad, to see him go. But hey, it is what it is, man. I don't know the whole details of his, situation. I believe the people close to him said he had an overdose or something. But definitely sad to see that dude go. Bear with me for a second. Damn, we're almost at 40 minutes. Should be able to go for about an hour. Another weird thing I want to mention. I talked about Walmart earlier, but something else dealing with Walmart. I remember, what was it, before 2020, they used to be open 24/7. Like, I remember going there at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. But now they all close at 12. Well, actually, they close at 11, right? So basically now Walmart's like just a regular average store, whereas it used to be open 24/7, right? But that changed once 2020 happened, right? That's when they changed the hours because they had to, lock down, and all that jazz, right? Man, he said an overdose of what? Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Or I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly what happened. But I just heard that's what happened, man. But I'm not sure, So now again, I asked around, but not again. A lot of people didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently he only talked to like a handful of people. So again, I can't answer that. I don't know. Let me see. If anybody has any last minute question or topic, you're welcome to bring it up. Because we only have a few more minutes of the stream left. But I'll address anything if anybody got something. Here's something else funny I want to mention. I don't think I've talked publicly about this. Well, I mentioned it on a video I haven't released yet, but I guess it's not public, right? I mentioned there is a channel out there. They're called a GMS Saints of Jersey 2, right? And here's the dilemma. They're part of one of the GMS camps. These dudes, here's the story. They put up a video, about a random topic. I was watching it, and the dude recording, he didn't realize that he actually shared his job's location, like literally showed the location of his job on the screen without realizing it, like when he was flipping through the screens, right, the layers, right? So I left him a message in the comments and said, hey man, just to let you know, bear with me a second. I said, just to let you know, you accidentally put your job's location out there. So it might be a wise idea for you to either remove the video altogether or just go back and like edit it out, because you don't want that out there, right? I've learned from experience, you don't want to put your information on the internet, right? And that's just, common knowledge, right? So it was an accident. So I just thought I'd be kind to let him know that, right? It's just a kind gesture. And, apparently they got some type of like beef with me or whatever. I think it was because of that one dude. What's that dude over in Hawaii? Right, that one bald dude. Jay knows who I'm talking about. I know Zealots of Israel, they always go after that dude. they got some serious beef. But anyway, what happened was I let him know, hey man, are you aware of that? And then he was like, oh, well, you scoffers, you guys don't scare us. And you guys there trying to get us in trouble. We see you. I was thinking to myself, it's like, dude, I'm simply just giving you a kind gesture warning, telling you that you accidentally leaked your information. You should take it down because you don't want it to get in the wrong hands. Like literally, people, if they get that and don't like you, they'll try to get you fired or put accusations against you. Like literally, Captain Cesariak, one of the leaders of the ISUPK, Israelite school, he said on one of his interviews that somebody found out where he worked and they called up his job and tried to get him in trouble with his boss to get him fired. Right? So that's an example of what I'm saying. Right? So I thought it'd be a kind gesture to tell this guy that, hey, look, man, you should either remove the video or just, edit it out. It takes like 10 minutes to do that. And there you go. You fixed the problem. But instead of doing that or thanking me for letting him know, he's like, oh, well, you scoffers, we see you trying to get us in trouble or, all that bullshit. But again, it just really, it's funny if you think about it, right? It's really funny. It's like to some of these guys, and again, I respect the GMS camp, right? Like the top leaders, they know about me. The Hard watches my videos. He subscribed to me. I've seen him watch my stuff on some of his streams in the past. So they know about me. So does Sakari. But some of the people in that group, like even Gabar said that there's some, peons. I'm not going to use the word he used on this stream, but he said there's a lot of peons that are in GMS, right? Simpletons. Even Gabar, one of the top heads of the camp of the organization, he said that. Let's get a couple comments. Manny said, I remember listening to him during his final days, and he was nodding out in his live streams. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he was. I didn't really watch him live other than when I called in a couple of times. But yeah, man, the guy probably was on something. But I don't know. Green Soul asks, what's your thoughts on your cob? Are you talking about that YouTuber named that? You're talking about the YouTuber named Yacob. I don't really watch his content, so I can't really answer on that if that's what you're asking, right? Like here's what I'll say: you don't want to watch everybody. You want to stick with a small amount of people and listen to them. You don't want to be watching 100 different groups, right? Like, say, for instance, for people that are just finding out that they're Israelites, I would tell them, you should stick with GMS, maybe watch a little Sakari, but you shouldn't really get involved with all these groups. There's like literally 100 different Israelite groups or 40,000 different denominations of Christianity in the world. So it's like you got to pick a small amount and stick with them. You don't want to be taking a little bit of doctrine from every group or organization. That's how you bring forth confusion, right? And that's what some of these groups do, man. And some of these Christian groups, like the Free Gracers, they're basically the Catholic religion, but they just put a new spin-off on it. But essentially, they're the same thing. They're basically like the off-brand version. Like when you go to the store and see like fruit rings next to the Fruit Loops, right? They're the off-brand version. So that's what Free Grace is. Free Grace is the off-brand version of the Catholic faith, to put it into simple terms. Eddie, hey, how you doing, Eddie? Haven't seen you in a while, man. And sorry, I'm not bringing anybody up on here tonight, man, because I'm closing the stream in a couple minutes. This was just a solo stream, but I was taking comments. But good to see you around, Eddie. Eddie said, sure, like that dude works, that captain, I believe he's talking about Tazariak. He's living off of all the people that support him in his group. Yeah, I hear you. But again, it's not only them, like the Christian groups are doing that too, right? So again, I criticize the ISUPK on certain things, but as far as him living off of the money, really that's something we see among all these groups, including Christian groups. So I wouldn't, go after him just on that, because everybody's really doing that. The leaders of these groups out here, among all religions in the world, basically. Green Soul said, no, the big head Satanist. I'm not sure, man. I haven't looked into that name other than the camp leader named that. Hey, how you doing, Mac? Hope you're doing well, man. Let me see. Eddie said, funny you say that, because you actually believe that you're 100% correct, and then all the conflicts, they believe they're correct, and the Muslims and all the fake Hebrew Israelites, they believe. I'm not necessarily sure what you're alluding to with that comment, man. A lot to read there as I'm walking. I'd have to sit down and read it, but I can't at the moment. Yeah, Eddie. Again, as I said, the Hebrew Israelites, they know more about the Bible than any of these Christian groups out here. That's clear. But of course, the group shouldn't be just, don't take what they're saying on face value. Actually look into what they're saying for yourself. And the same thing with any group or teacher you listen to. Don't just believe something because they said so. Look into it for yourself in your own spare time. No, that's just called being a smart person. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, I'm doing all right, Mac. Could be better, but You gotta take every day, um, by itself. You know what I'm saying? All right, we hit the 50-minute mark. Probably close up in just a couple minutes here. I believe what I believe is the 100%. Well, let me say this. I won't sit there and say that like I have all the answers, right? So I'm not going to sit there and say that I'm teaching 100% truth, like some other people sit there and say. Does that mean, like, say for instance, does that mean I'm teaching 95% truths and then I'm lying to people on 5%? No. It could be possible that I might be mistaken on something or two. Sure. Same thing with every other person out there. That's possible. But over time you can learn. And that's the way to look on it, right? That's the right aspect to have. Dirty Varmint said, "Where's Babylon?" Babylon is the United States, right? The 50 states, America. That's Mystery Babylon in the Bible. Dirty Varmint isn't he the dude that doesn't even believe in the Bible? I think, if I'm not mistaken, he believes in the Old Testament but not the New Testament, or rejects Paul's writings or something like that. Again, interesting character. There's so many people out here, it seems, that they reject Paul's writings for whatever reason. It's like, well, shit, if you're going to deny Paul's writings, isn't that like, what, half the New Testament? So, I mean, you're damn well throwing, like, what, a quarter of the Bible away. Shit, even more than that, more like 50%, because, well, we'll say 40%, because they don't accept the Apocrypha. So, hell, if they're taking the Apocrypha out and then taking all Paul's writings out, that's like, what, 40% of the Bible? But something along those lines. Hey, how you doing, Jamie? Jamie Russell said, "You can't keep all the commandments." Yeah, you're right. You can't keep all the commandments. There's 613 laws in the Bible. No person on earth can live by all of those. Completely correct. Now, of course, does that now mean that we live in sin? Of course not. Just because we can't perfectly keep them. You're supposed to strive to keep all that you're capable of keeping. But, of course, acknowledge that you can't perfectly keep all of them. Especially in today's day and age. I mean, hell, would have been hard for somebody to try to keep all of them 200 years ago. But think about today. And the world's completely, more detestable and wicked today compared to 200 years ago, right? Okay, let me get caught up on a couple. I missed a few comments. Yeah, man. Though I'm not gonna say where on here. Max said, "All right, PCTT. One of these days we are going to have a hangout." Yeah, that's cool, man. Soon I'm going to be doing more open panels, but it's a little hard for me right now with certain circumstances. But in the future, definitely have some more open panels. Alfred put up a good comment, well, verse here. It's Philippians 2, verse 12. "Therefore, my dear friends, as ye have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling." Yeah, that's a good verse right there. That's a good verse, right? That even though we're now outside of, Christ walking physically on the earth right now, that doesn't now mean that we don't keep what he said. Hell, like even when he appeared to the apostles after his death, what do you think he told them? I believe it. I was reading Acts earlier today. I believe it said he appeared to him like 40 times at least, right? 40 different times he appeared to them. What do you think he was telling them during those 40 times? Well, obviously, he was teaching them to do righteous things. Wasn't telling them, well, just believe in me, and then you can go steal and rob and hurt people. It's like, no, that's not what he taught them. Contradictory to popular belief. Dirty Varmint said, I believe in Jesus, not Paul. I believe in Christ, but I also believe in Paul's writings because Paul didn't contradict Christ. Paul was a apostle of Christ. I guess that's a different topic for another time. Dirty Varmint said, I have a lot of free time. Yeah, your ass does have a lot of free time, man. Right? Must be, sitting around unemployed or something like that. And just messing with you. Dirty Varmint said, I don't think the book of Revelation is true either. Babylon doesn't exist. It was destroyed by God. I mean, hey, if you want to believe that, man, you can believe that, but I disagree with you on that. There was an ancient city of Babylon over in Iraq, but there's a new one today, right? Some parts of the Bible call it Mystery Babylon, the great city, the daughter of Babylon, right? Among other code names. But here's something for you, Dirty. Think about this. If you do believe in parts of the Bible and that the God of the Bible, is like the creator and he knows the end from the beginning, as it clearly says throughout the Bible, so why would he not make a reference to the most powerful nation on earth anywhere in the Bible? Because there's prophecies in the Bible. Prophecy means to something that's going to happen in the future beyond the current point, right? So if you know that, well, why do you think that the God that knows the future and tells these prophecies that he wouldn't mention like the United States, right, being the most powerful nation to ever exist on Earth? Like, why would that not get mentioned? Logically, just doesn't. In my opinion, that just doesn't make sense. But again, if that's what you want to believe, man, you can believe that, but just not reasonable. Dirty said God doesn't know the future, but he can make plans and cause his plan to come to pass. What do you mean God doesn't? What do you mean God doesn't know the future? Doesn't the Bible talk about that he has ordained people from the beginning, to be righteous or unrighteous? I mean, I'd have to disagree with you on that one, man. I mean, the Bible clearly says that God, knows everything that's taken place, right? Both in the past and in the future. So, I mean, that's a point of contention right there. Take any elementary level Christian would be able to even agree on that, right? Any elementary level Christian. Yeah, Eddie, China is a powerful nation, but they're not as powerful as the United States, though. But yeah, China's a powerful country, but not as superior as America. Yeah, that's an interesting one, Alfred. I believe you're talking about might be Revelation the 16th chapter. Let me see. All right, we have hit the hour mark here, so in just a moment, I'm going to be wrapping the stream up. Let me see. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap the show up with that. I thank everybody for stopping by tonight. It was a short stream, only an hour, but that's what I had, available for now. But thanks for stopping by, everybody.